Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of the reading followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us today. I'm so glad that you're here as we continue on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Before we dive in, a few quick reminders. Please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Your support here helps us spread the word, allowing us to continue to grow this community. Next, I'd like to introduce our Patreon group, where we have 3 weekly meetings. On Sunday, we have a meditation meeting. On Tuesdays, we have a book club meeting. And on Thursdays, we have open topic discussions. These meetings take place at 6 p.m. Eastern European time, so this is Paris, Amsterdam time. I'm also thrilled to introduce a Reparenting Daily journal, which you can find on Amazon. This journal follows the exact theme of the podcast, so each week and each monthly theme and sub-theme, it provides you space to keep your notes and plenty of extra resources for each topic we discuss. It's a really great tool, and if you purchase it, you can join our 3 weekly meetings for free. Just send me an email and we'll get you linked into that. Next, I'd like to announce another creative project I've had, which is a 3-volume series entitled Fairy Tales for Reparenting. Now, you might think, yeah, we're a bit old, fairy tales are a bit fluffy, so why fairy tales exactly? In my own personal work and research and reading into the work of Carl Jung and Marie-Louise von Franz, and just a lot of other types of reading and spiritual readings that I've done, has kind of led me to this journal to rediscover the magic of fairy tales. So I've created this 3-volume series that progresses along the hero's journey from beginning to middle to end. All of the fairy tales there correspond to that point of your journey. At the end of each story, you will have journal reflections and also space to keep your notes for things that you've learned. While returning to fairy tales might seem childish, foolish, or immature, there's actually a lot of value buried there, not to mention the ability to connect with your inner child. These books are filled with fairy tales that you might know, and also some from around the world that might be new for you. So you can look forward to something exciting and a new way to connect with your inner child and to work on your inner child healing if you like. All of these books are available on Amazon, so go ahead and take a look to support this project. Your help here really means a lot. Reparenting is a journey of growth, iterative change, and continuous improvement. Much like nurturing the bonsai tree, it requires patience, care, consistency, and attention. Thanks for being here and for supporting this work, and also for committing on your journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is an article from the Reparenting Daily blog. It's entitled, What's the Difference Between Self-Love and Narcissism? A Trauma-Informed Guide to Reclaiming Your Self-Worth Without Losing Your Soul. Just as a reminder, we're in June, and the theme for this month is Cultivating Self-Worth and Self-Love. We're in week 2, June 8th until the 14th, and the theme for this week is Releasing External Validation. You can find the link in the show notes if you'd like to read the article or save it for later. What's the difference between self-love and narcissism? A trauma-informed guide to reclaiming your self-worth without losing your soul. If you grew up in a dysfunctional or abusive household, you were probably taught directly or indirectly that loving yourself is selfish. Maybe every time you tried to speak up, someone shut you down. Maybe you were told that putting yourself first is arrogant, self-centered, or too much. As a result, even as an adult, trying to care for yourself might trigger guilt, fear, or confusion. You might wonder, am I being narcissistic? Am I turning into the people who hurt me? If you spent your whole life being used or minimized by others, the idea of self-love can feel risky, even dangerous. So let's break it down, because there's a massive difference between self-love and narcissism, and understanding that difference might be the key to your healing. What is self-love? Self-love is the ongoing practice of caring for yourself with compassion, respect, and honesty. It is the choice of choosing to value your existence, not because you are better than anyone else, but because you exist. It's not performative. It's not dependent on external validation. It's not about being perfect. It's about treating yourself like someone who matters. Self-love includes listening to your own feelings, protecting your own boundaries, forgiving yourself, encouraging yourself through difficulty, letting yourself rest, dream, and feel joy. Self-love creates safety inside you. It builds strength. It allows you to show up in the world with integrity and warmth. It's humble and rooted. It doesn't need to broadcast itself because it isn't fragile. Narcissism, by contrast, is a survival strategy that develops when someone replaces their authentic self with a false self that seeks control, attention, and superiority. It's not self-love. It's actually a deep fear of being unworthy covered up by arrogance, manipulation, and emotional denial. Narcissism includes exploiting others to feel powerful, constantly seeking admiration or attention, deflecting blame or never taking accountability, lacking empathy for others' pain, presenting a grandiose or inflated self-image while hiding insecurity underneath. While self-love is grounded and compassionate, narcissism is brittle and image-obsessed. It can't tolerate vulnerability or criticism. It feeds on others because it can't regulate from within. Self-love versus narcissism. The key difference is why trauma survivors struggle with this distinction. If you've been emotionally abused, manipulated, or parentified, you may have been trained to feel guilty for having needs. You may have had narcissistic caregivers who demanded all the attention and shamed you for expressing your emotions. So now, when you start honoring your needs or asserting yourself, that inner critic screams, "You're just like them." But here's the truth. You're not becoming a narcissist by learning to love yourself. You're reclaiming what was stolen from you. Narcissists don't wonder if they're narcissists. They don't wrestle with the guilt of being too much. They don't worry about hurting people. You do. How to practice healthy self-love without falling into narcissism. Number 1, stay grounded in humility. Self-love doesn't mean thinking you're better than others. It means believing that you belong alongside them. Number 2, stay connected to empathy. Care for yourself and stay aware of others. Self-love includes accountability and kindness. Number 3, focus on internal worth, not image. Ask, am I being true to myself? Not do people think I'm amazing? Number 4, check your impact. Self-love means you care how your actions affect others. You repair when needed, you stay real. Number 5, root in values, not in your ego. What matters to you? Kindness, justice, beauty, growth. Align with those choices, not just with what feeds your pride. And the final thoughts. Learning to relate is like learning a new language when you've only ever known silence or survival. It's hard, it's awkward, and it's brave. And it starts with noticing your own humanity, then making some space for someone else's. You don't need to perform. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up, pay attention, and be willing to try again. Relating is not about being liked, it's about being known. And that's one of the most healing experiences that you can have. Thank you. And that's the reading for today. Welcome back. This was an interesting reading. The blog article, you can find the link in the show notes. The difference between self-love and narcissism, particularly when you're coming from a chaotic or dysfunctional childhood. And so when we're listening to this blog article, finding the difference as it might be something you have encountered or be struggling with in your life, is this something that's crossed your mind often? How many encounters have you come or have you had with narcissistic people? Have the effects been difficult on your life? What's brought you to realize this question? Perhaps it's a string of relationships or the relationship now that you're realizing that you had it with your parents. But as we look at this, the theme of the month, self-worth and self-love, cultivating these two qualities, it's important to not become overly bashful in your pursuit of self-love. You might be too easy to count that as narcissism when in fact it is just simple self-love, because when you're moving from a state of such deprivation to even somewhat getting your needs, you might feel uncomfortable that you are taking too much. But after such a deprivation, it's fine to just let yourself go. To just let go and realize you have the right to exist. You have the right to have needs. You have the right to joy and peace and abundance. So this is a good article because it's a tricky line. You don't want to hold yourself back and you don't want to take advantage of others, which is a good thing as well. But it's very important when you're in this healing process to really allow yourself the room that you've never had. And so as we go on to the journal prompts today, number one, what are some areas in your life where you feel grounded in self-love? Are there some particular traits or things, habits, skills that you have that really support your self-love? And number two, how has narcissism shown up in your life, whether within your family, yourself, or with your partners, perhaps, and friends? And how have you handled these dynamics? And lastly, what ways can you make bolder action towards your self-love, towards developing this quality, while also not denying your true values? That's it for today. As always, thanks so much for being here. Take care of yourself and please do be well. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.